It feels like a perfect night.
Where are you
Something
going
like
with
that.
this?
It's 22.
No, we need 13
Why 13?
because that's the name of the Dessert Theater's play.
Oh, there we go.
You're way too excited about that.
Well, it's Taylor Swift. Like, who doesn't get excited about Taylor Swift?
True. I love Taylor Swift. I met her. I'm related to her.
Breezy actually never did meet her.
I
She's lying.
did too, and I'm related to her.
Okay.
She's my friend's six cousins, neighbor, twice removed.
Wow.
See? Related.
Must be really close.
Yes. Like this.
Oh, okay.
T Swizzle, be Reezy real.
Wow. Okay. So even though Breezy knows Taylor Swift, I
do.
think that the Dessert Theater is a lot more interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what is? I don't even know what this Dessert Theater is.
Oh, it's about High School Musical. I just remembered. Yeah, it's like a Jewish High School Musical.
That's like the simple version of it. I think. I think it's a lot more though.
Well, yes, but like
It
when
sounds-
I asked what was it about, they said, "Oh, you know High School Musical?" I said, "Yeah." They said it's like a Jewish version of that. So I was told. I could be wrong, but that's just what I was told.
Maybe. I mean, I interviewed Liam, and I think he said something. I just remember a lot of people, and I know that was very flirtatious and drama related. Obviously, it's probably drama related because it's a dessert theater. But
Good job.
yeah, thanks.
Wait, like, look at you making connections.
So let's go find out more about the dessert theater. Hey everyone, I'm Ben Detweiler here with Liam Hurd to talk about the dessert theater. So what is dessert theater?
Dessert theater is like a mini play or musical, like it swaps year in and year out. It's a 2-day event where people can come and sit in the cafeteria and watch a performance. But the reason it's called dessert theater is because there's also desserts served in the back.
Ooh, like what kind of desserts?
It varies. We don't know what they are going to be this year, but last year we had a variety from like, we actually made a castle out of wafers. We had like a lot of wafers. It was beautiful. We had brownies, we had cookies. I think someone even brought in cake. And I know one kid, Harry Olson, actually brought in this giant chocolate chip cookie that was a giant cake.
Oh my gosh.
It was beautiful.
So it sounds like an awesome dessert theater.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So what is the play this year?
This year it's actually a musical,
Okay.
and it's called 13. So it's a newer performance that came out within the past 5 years, I think.
And can you enlighten me on what this 13 is? Like, what is this number? And
The number is actually the main character's age. He just turns 13, and he's a Jewish boy. So at 13, they have their bar mitzvah and they become a man. Like that's their tradition. So the whole story is centered around that and all the struggles you can have as a 13-year-old. You know.
So what type of struggles does he have?
In the beginning, he moves from New York City, where all his friends are, to this little small town in Indiana. So like, he's complete culture shock. He tries to get all the cool kids to go to his bar mitzvah, but at risk of losing a couple of his friends that he just made. So it's like this whole back and forth kind of thing.
What are some things that happen at this bar mitzvah? Sounds like an awesome party.
Oh yeah, there's not like a huge in-depth at the bar mitzvah, but like that moment in the musical is kind of when everything kind of comes together because it's near the end. But his line is there's a hot DJ and wild dancing. That's one of the lines that he says to describe the bar mitzvah.
So what are some of the cast members, and what are you specifically?
I play the character Archie in the musical. I'm a crippled who's also a geek, but I have a degenerative. I can never say that.
Degenerative.
Thank you.
No
that
problem.
neuromuscular disorder. I have that. See, I need to get that down when it shows in a week. I play him. He's the best friend of Patrice, who is played by Katie Gingrich. She is the first friend that the main character Evan meets, and Evan is played by Martin Witherspoon. But Martin also tries to befriend the cool kids, and there's the main jock, who's played by Brett. His name is Brett. It's played his name Jackson. I don't know his last name, but Jackson. He's a sophomore this year. Pretty cool guy actually. And then there's the cheerleaders, the head cheerleaders. There's Kendra, who's kind of like the dumb blonde in a sense, and Archie is in love with her. That's like another little side story in there. Kendra is played by Vanessa Limbert. And then we have the main kind of villain, you could say, who's Lucy, who's the best friend of Kendra, and she always tries to get Brett, but Brett likes Kendra. This whole kind of like love triangle thing going on.
Sounds like a lot of drama.
Oh yeah, a lot of drama. And Lucy is actually played by Jasmine Hillenbrand. So
Okay, so what would make this show different than like if you would do the musical 13 in the auditorium?
probably just like the amount of ensemble. Like, luckily, with our performances, we don't really have that many people. We actually this year had a lot of people audition for it, but we had to cut a lot of people out because of the size. Where if we did it in the auditorium, we'd have all those people for the ensemble, so it'd be a lot more busy, a lot more, like kind of crowded, but in a good way. But that's pretty much it. But with the dessert theater, it's a lot more intimate, so you get to really know the characters a lot well.
So what like teacher sponsors are helping you with this?
We have, okay, I don't know who's like I think they're both directors, but we have Mr. Doneno and Mrs. Danoff are directing and helping with the choreographer. And then we have Mrs. Chronister is actually doing the piano music. We have Mr. Vizzini is actually doing guitar work for the thing, so he's going to be doing a lot of guitar solos. So I hear he's awesome. I haven't not heard him play though. And then we actually have an alumni coming back for the drums. Chris Waters is coming back to play drums, so it'll be cool.
Okay, so when is Dessert Theater?
This year it is held December 13th and 14th, Friday and Saturday. It starts at 7:30, but desserts will be served at 7.
Okay, and is there like an admission charge to get in?
Yes, there are ticket forms. You have to reserve your seat in advance because they actually you can sit at the round tables and there'll be candles. It's nice and pretty. But there are fees. Students are $8, senior citizens are $9, and adults are $10. And you could just like bump into Mrs. Danoff or Doneno, and they can give you a form, fill it out, bring it in. You'll be fine.
Would you be able to tell us where their rooms are? Or?
Mr. Doneno, honestly, I don't know. I went to his room once, but I forget where his office is. He's in the second floor, but usually he helps out with gifted, so you can always talk to some gifted students and they can help you direct them. And Mrs. Danoff is in room, I think, 147.
Okay.
So you can always, she's there most of the time, and she hangs out around there during sea lunch if you ever want to bump into her. So
Okay.
It's really cool experience.
So is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Not really. Just come out and enjoy the show, support local drama club. Yeah, it'll be a good show. The money is worthwhile. It's not going to be. You're not going to be sitting there like, oh, this is boring.
Okay.
We worked really hard, and it's actually going to be a good show.
Yeah, I can tell you guys have been working really hard.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm Ben Detweiler, and I just talked with Liam Hurd about the Dessert Theater, which is a performance that's called 13. It sounds really exciting, so make sure you check it out. Now back to Eagle's Eye.